Before we get going in this chapter, tell you what, go into your exercise folder and open up clonesource.psd. What we're going to talk about is things like clone tools, healing brushes, pattern tools, patch tools, the ability to either manipulate or restore an image. Now, I tell my students at university that basically we use the same tools to make an image look different, or we use the same tools to make an image look exactly like it would have if it never had gotten damaged. It's not the tools that determine the definition. It's the intent of what you're doing to the image. Now, we're going to play around just a little bit in this first lesson. I want to show you something that you might know is there, but I'm surprised a lot of people don't. It's called a clone source panel, and it gives you control over what you do when you clone. So if we come over here and click on the clone tool right there, you'll notice our options change up here, of course. Now let's just concentrate on one in this particular lesson. And it's this one right here, that second little button right there. Click it. Now it opens up something called the Clone Source Panel. And this is what I want to talk about for just a couple of minutes here. Number one, you'll notice at the top, you have these 5 clone sources. Understand what they are. They allow you, when you sample the image, to sample 5 different places, store them, and then use them over and over again. For example, let me come over here. I'm going to use my right bracket key or left bracket key to increase or decrease the brush size. I want to clone that butterfly. So I come over here, get right about there, and hold down the Alt key, and that's the Option key on a Mac, Alt in Windows, and click. So I now have that butterfly. I can put one here, but I'm not going to yet. I'm going to click on the next one over here, come down to Fido, and do the same thing, Alt or Option, and click. And now I got Fido on that one. And we'll go to the third one, and do the same thing to the bird. So I'm setting points. Now, Andy, big deal. I can go over there and click on that anytime I want to, and I agree. But when I'm doing a major restoration job, I might be restoring the image from literally 3 or 4 different photographs. I can do these clone sources from different photos, then go to the one I want to use, and I don't have to go back to the other photos. So I find that really nice. So I can come over here now and click this one and get, I don't know, right about here, and just click and drag. That's all you have to do to paint it in. And most of you probably know cloning. It's been around for a long time. Here's the dog one. Same idea. And of course, our bird down here. But think about, again, of using this in a way, especially with different images. You don't have to go back to the different images anymore. You got it right here. Now over here, you have an offset. So watch what happens when I say go on this guy again here. Let me go to the next one over. And Alt or Option click again, Alt in Windows, Option on a Mac. Notice the offset says 0, 0. Now that's because I'm directly on top of what I just sourced. But if I move over, you can see the offset beginning. What if you're cloning something and you need a very specific offset for the clone tool? You can put that in right here. Now up here, you can increase or decrease the size of the cloned object. Maybe you want a dog half that size. You do it right here. And I know once we do it, we can use the transform tool to make it smaller, but that's saving one step. I can also rotate the clone. Maybe you're aligning something like bricks in a wall. This is for video. Now, we're not going to be working with video in this lesson series because we're on photography. But you have a frame offset and a lock frame where you can actually do cloning frame to frame to frame in video. You can turn the overlay on or off if you want to. You can clip the overlay to the current brush. You can change the opacity of the overlay. Now, that's just the overlay, not the actual clone. You can auto-hide it when you're working. You can change to a couple of different blending modes, and you can even invert it. Now, out of all the features here, these to me are the most valuable because it allows me in a complicated restoration or manipulation project to go into different images, clone my sources, go to the one I'm working on. I got it. Don't forget you have the clone source options when you're working with the clone tool.